Jeffrey. He's in for David Totham, the captain, who's out injured. Other players going through there, Ryan Smith and Cooper. They need a big game from Cooper today, also on the wing to create the players.
Starting to record, mate. You want to start the commentary? Yeah.
Football's big one. Peter Rhea in ruck for St Mary's. Daryl Taylor for Wanderers. The ball goes Rhea's way. Noel Long straight onto it. Taylor. Wanderers with the first kick and the first attacking move, but that's held up by Darren Stratton for St Mary's. There goes his kick towards the centre of the ground. The big fella Rhea there is in front. The punch from behind was effective. And Wanderers have a loose man in Cooper out here on the wing, but A lot of pressure on him. They'll need to get this hand pass away. They do. Sharkey is there. Cooper. Cooper goes back inboard. But the big fella is there. Taps it down for Noel Long. Well done. Long tackled as he kicked. A chance now for Richard Goit and Chisholm. Goit gets the soccer away. Here's a chance for Durkay. This man is a brilliant footballer. There goes the long kick. Cusack, up he goes. Burt punched from behind by Berto. Liddy. Game number 255. Still in the van. And now a relieving kick out of defence for St Mary's.
By Henry, ball up towards the centre of the ground, knocked away nicely there by Cooper. Aaron Perry knocks the ball on in front of him now, picks it up, goes down the wing, puts the ball in towards McLennan, who takes an easy mark. And McLennan up towards centre half forward. The lead there coming from Gabby Wheater, couldn't take the mark. Ball falls to the ground, picked up by Brian Stanislas, hand pass to Wheater. Wheater has a quick shot towards goal, and Russell Jeffrey in the last line of defence takes the mark. Jeffrey plays on.
Jeffrey streaks out of defence. A vital player in the Wanderers charge, and the mark taken there, paid to Viola. Was thought that he'd start on the interchange, but not so. Kick goes in towards the centre. Durkay is lurking down there on the bottom of the pack, can't get the clear run. He's held after he got rid of a play on, says the umpire, and a chance for Davidson to go into attack. Cusack nearly held. Free kick and a chance for Wanderers.
Certainly the game started at a tremendous pace. There's a great amount of pressure on there, and Wanderers have got this first scoring opportunity into probably what is probably a 2 or 3 goal breeze. I didn't think it was an obvious free kick. I thought there was probably a little bit of tagging in it. Probably Sean Cusack reasonably lucky, I think, to get what should be a certain goal here.
So Cusack, the full forward today for the start of this match. There goes the kick, and first blood to Wanderers.
It's the type of start I think that blokes like Sean Cusack, being young players, need in this game. Having quite a number of young players, Wanderers, with 16, 17-year-old boys, they'll probably need to get a good start, otherwise they could very easily lose confidence. There was a little bit of hand in that, but I thought it was probably in a grand final situation a little bit ticky touchwood.
Gary Durkay looking good early, Kevin, too. Umpire with the ball, centre bounce. Wanderers, the first goal on the board coming from a free kick to Cusack. Peter Rea, Darryl Taylor in ruck. Rea for St Mary's, Taylor for Wanderers. No one gets an effective knock around. Noel Long tries to knock the ball away. It's taken by Andy Viola. Viola gets a hand pass over to Richard Goit. Goit looking towards the half-forward flank, but a nice mark taken there by Darren Stratton. Half-back flank, goes towards the scoreboard wing, looking for Damien Hale. In front of him there was Goit. Ball kept in play, picked up by Michael Athanasiou, down towards Brian Stanislas. Stanislas can't control the ball. Russell Jeffrey chips in, pulled there by the jumper. Definite free kick to Russell Jeffrey.
Well, Wanderers are on fire, aren't they, in this first quarter?
Well, they certainly are. I think both sides are, and Wanderers just showing the way a little bit at the moment.
Mawson puts it down the centre. Big pack forms, no one able to take the mark. On the ground is the St Mary's player, but in there goes Ryan Smith, and a chance for now St Mary's. Cyril Rioli, devastating player in the packs. Victor Dunn. Whoops, the ball put down by Athanasiou, but he recovers, puts it up, but Taylor is there. He got back in time, and they're covering their options well in defence. Taylor should come to the grandstand side. He does now. He has Cooper. Cooper lets that bounce. Dangerous play. Has a teammate further up the field. Viola waited for the ball.
Oh, he did. He made the fatal error then of waiting for the ball, and young Wheater was able to punch the ball over the boundary.
Rea and Taylor. Oof, the big punch there by Wheater, effective. Gains 25 or 30. Aaron Perry runs onto it, shrugs off the tackler, puts the ball up high for the one-on-one. Mawson charges at the ball, and in front takes the mark, and Wheater look half asleep.
Yes, Wanderers certainly going hammer and tongs right at this very moment.
Trouble for them here is they're having difficulty getting this ball out of defence. The hand pass comes out. Cooper runs onto it. He's surrounded by St Mary's players. And onto the ball is Chisholm. Chisholm's kick in towards Wheatra. Tackled by Mawson. The hand pass comes away to Stanislaus. He goes long from 55, and how's that? That's a goal!
Beautiful kick from Brian Stanislaus.
Saints have evened up pretty well, even though Wanderers seem to have most of the play. Then a great little bit of work by, we'll see Brian Stanislaus coming off and about 55 metres out, a brilliant kick of the ball. The ball almost, well, it did actually make the distance, but there were no players there anyway. Had it not made the distance, it would have bounced through. So Saints have replied fairly quickly.
So 1 goal apiece, and we're only 6 minutes into the first quarter. It's shaping up as a good one.
Yeah, plenty of pace in the game, Kevin, no doubt about that. Umpire to bounce the ball. Rhea and Taylor in ruck. Noel Long over the back. No one getting an effective knock away. Comes down towards Alan Perry. Been picked up there by a Wanderers player in the shape of Rod Lewis. But Lewis has been caught with the ball, and the umpire decides to bounce. Peter Rhea and Taylor doing the ruck work for St Mary's and Wanderers. None of them, again, they're getting an effective knock away. Nice hand pass coming away to Rod Lewis, although put under fire there by Cyril Rioli. Trying hard to pick it up is Huxtable. Gets it away nicely to Andy Viola. Viola down towards Chisholm. Chisholm overruns the ball. Here's a good chance for Smith. Smith can't pick it up. Picked up by Shane Ponner. Thought he might have been taken around the neck there, but play on is the call. Damien Hale comes, not Damien Hale, Burdo comes through back to Ponner over towards Tommy Wheatra. Wheatra gets the ball towards Perry. Perry hand pass over the back towards Peter Rhea. In hot pursuit, Viola. Rhea gets it away, but Darryl Taylor picks it up, and he's hotly pressed by Perry, and the ball is taken over the line and out of bounds.
Well, the big fella's got in there with a big grin on his face and just letting his opposite number know that he's dead serious about this, and why wouldn't he be? It's the grand final. 1 goal apiece. A lot of pressure out there. Gee whiz, this has been a very tense start to the game. Russell Jeffrey gets around, uses his AFL skills. Man is a terrific footballer. Puts it out wide for Davidson, who has an absolute panic. Down he goes with the ball once. The lead is there from Cusack, and it's bang on his chest. Durkay makes the lead. Chipped in, Victor Dunn. Just too long, that one for Durkay. Rioli had looked for support and it wasn't there. That's unusual for St Mary's. Now he finds it with Noel Long. Noel Long's chip doesn't find a teammate. Instead it finds Seamus Sharkey. They go on with it straight away out towards Tim Wine. Plenty of St Mary's players on his hammer, and he takes the safe option. If it gets there, that's the boundary line. Wanderers back in possession. Can't get the kick away. Oh, look at the pack of St Mary's players there, and they've managed to give away a free kick. So Wanderers a chance just to steady a bit. Davidson with the ball. Goes in towards centre half forward. Up goes the fly of Jekowicz. He couldn't bring this one down though. And now a chance for Stratton to relieve. That kick is close to the boundary line. Yet to go over. Now it does, and the umpire says he'll bring it back in. Big crowd here at Marara.
Scoreboard side of the ground. The umpire to throw the ball back in. Rhea and Taylor doing battle in the ruck. Taylor possibly with the knockdown there. Durkay lurking. It's a nice hand pass over to, I think it might have been Jeffrey. Nice lead down there on the forward line from Sean Cusack. He's figured prominently in the early part of the game. He's only about 40 metres out straight in front. Damien Burdo standing the mark. Cusack already has run, and a real possibility here to make it 2. We're 10 minutes in the first quarter, 1992-93 NTFL Grand Final. Cusack lines up, left foot kick to the right and hits the behind post.
Well, Sean Cusack started very well. He's been involved in 2 forward movements, and I think Wanderers will be pretty happy about the way he's going at the moment.
A lot happier than Coach John Taylor looked there in that little snapping football time. Rhea, the big fella from behind, taps it over, and Chisholm takes advantage of that and then runs and uses his pace. How far has he gone? He's being tripped, and the free kick, a professional one, no doubt, just to slow things down. Goes across the ground and finds Aaron Perry. Perry is wrapped up by Troy Angel. Saints at this early stage just having trouble getting away and having their own way with the game. Taylor in front, nearly took the mark. Russell Jeffrey is there. Runs into a pack of St Mary's jumpers. Viola He couldn't get rid of it. In they go with the soccer. Painter. Oh, chance now for McLennan. McLennan puts the ball at a boot, but it goes left and out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, well, I guess St Mary's would be a little bit unhappy about that. Wayne McLennan had a bit of time then, and it's not like St Mary's to miss a goal under those circumstances. But I guess early in the game, a lot of pressure and players still settling down.
Gibson, the ball back into play. Towards the scoreboard sign. Athanasiou tries to get front spots. Nicely picked up there by Lee Painter down the wing side. Ball in the possession of Viola there, who has lost it to Scott Chisholm. Chisholm kicks in towards centre half forward. Tony Begona over the back. Couldn't take the mark. Ball to the ground. Wine trying hard to pick it up. It's picked up by Russell Jeffrey. Russell Jeffrey looking over towards the wing there. And a nice mark taken.
Painter in possession on the wing there. Good defence so far by Wanderers. Gibson and Jeffrey holding things up well. Djukovic went too early there. Perry dangerous when he's in the middle. He's a long kick, but he goes for the handball this time. Possession missed there by McLennan. Gibson, the big fella, couldn't bend over that far. It's a bit hard. Viola in there with the boots. Gibson again. Oh, it's tough in there. Athanasiou. Experience and timing, gets the ball on the boot. Curry is behind and takes the mark.
Thought it was a fairly poor effort by the Wanderers player then in not spoiling Corrie. Corrie had the ball covered all the time. Young Chris Huxtable.
He goes on with it, plays on, and now the kick will be taken by Wheatra. That big pack had developed and they just managed to break away, using the experience of Athanasiou. He seemed to have time. So Wheatra will line up for St Mary's second goal to give them a 6-point lead. Distance will not be a problem. Takes his time in coming in. There's the kick and straight through, and St Mary's lead by 6.
The St Mary's side, I think, will be a little bit happier now, although we see the replay here, and I think we'll see the ball come from Michael Athanasiou, who finds a clear spot. But I thought Huxtable really could have made a little bit more of an effort to get a fist in there. He then passed the ball to Wheatra, and Wheatra for a goal. But Saints, I think, could be looking for a couple more goals this quarter with the use of the breeze.
Yes, that breeze, in fact, is fairly direct, going straight down the ground.
2 or 3 goals, huh?
Yeah, perhaps 2. Up go the big fellas. Taylor gets the tap. Lewis takes it and was tagged, and will get the free kick. And Wanderers will go into attack. What will they look for? Will Dirk A be the option? Lewis decides to go on with it. Should bounce the ball. He does. Viola makes space for him. He made valuable distance there. Lewis, and his kick is in the teeth of goal. Oh, chance here for the big fella in Ryan Smith, but he's missed. Well, dearie me. Smith could have had his goal there.
Well, I think he'll be kicking himself there, Kevin. The replay will show the ball came loose over the back of the pack, and Smith really had a little bit of time there. Although, I guess, pressured at the last moment, the ball through for a point.
The relieving kick from Berto finds Victor Dunn. A Wanderers player is down, by the way. Hale. And coming in a bit late there was Richard Goyde. He could have even, in fact, probably made a chance to punch that. Hale goes on with it. Athanasiou is the target. Gibson punched from behind. Viola, it eludes him. Stanislaus has a bounce. Weaves now, goes in towards the direct route to goal, and Corrie has got the drop again.
Cool, calm and collected, Alan Corrie, isn't it?
Player coming off for Wanderers, hard to pick up who that is at this moment. Coming on to replace him will be Mark West. His first game since sometime in January. Looks as though it's Richard Goyde coming off. Corrie comes in for his shot at goal and makes no mistake. That's St Mary's third, and the player coming off, in fact, was Gary Davidson.
Well, typical St Mary's play there, Kevin, with Alan Corrie drawing Huxtable under the ball, then dropping back for the ball over the back. Alan Corrie already been proving a dangerous player. St Mary's deep in the forward line.
It's his 73rd for the year too, Pip.
Goal number 73. It's not a bad effort actually, because he hasn't spent all of his time at full forward as he looks like spending today. So 2 goals a margin. This is a crucial time for Wanderers. They want to stay in touch, even though Saints have got the breeze. Corrie taking a drink of water. Conditions fairly warm out there, I can tell you that. Taylor puts it down, Viola's straight, Viola kicks in Hope. The punch behind, Djukovic's got a bad bounce. Put it out towards Durko, in there is Hale. Hale's hand pass to Perry. They can set something up here. He takes his time, sets it up. This is one-on-one, Mawson and Wheatra. Oh, the ball's tootled over the back of the pack and through for a point.
Saints certainly taking advantage of the breeze now with those sort of kicks, Kevin. They're really they're opening the play up, and once they get anywhere within 60 metres of goals, they're going long and giving themselves every opportunity.
Wheatra and Taylor do battle from the kick-out. Taylor's got the front spot. He's kicked the ball along the ground and out of bounce on the grandstand side, near the St Mary's supporters side of the ground. Ball back into play. Taylor and Ria doing battle in the ruck. Rioli on the ground. Picked up nicely there by Mawson, although nothing effective. Cyril Rioli has the ball. Hand passes to Perry. Perry shoots in towards Tony Bagana. Alan Corrie over the back. Ball falls to ground, picked up by Alan Corrie, who spins around on his left foot. Beautiful kick. And there's full points there from the boot of Alan Corrie.
Well, I noticed after Alan Corrie kicked the last goal that they made a change. They put Seamus Sharkey back on Alan Corrie, but it still hasn't stopped him scoring another goal, and it's given Saints a pretty handy lead now. Nice kick, round onto his left foot. A very accurate kick, both feet. Alan Corrie anywhere within 40 or 45 metres of goals. But Wanderers are starting to get a little bit worried, I think, Kevin, because in the last 5 or 6 minutes, Saints have really got the run on.
Yes, Aaron Perry winning a few kicks across the centre and setting up things well for him. Well, Ria completely missed the ball there, but he got his opponent. Perry again setting up, and the danger man puts it to McLennan. McLennan across to Stanislaus, who just took his eyes off it. Cooper, the hand pass is a shocker. The thump from Michael Athanasia. Russell Jeffrey, Cyril Rioli pounces on the crumbs, into the open goal, through.
Well, as quick as we recorded the last goal, Kevin, another one, and gee, I think, as you say, that the Wanderers are going to have to look at doing something in the centre. Earlier in the game, in the first 6 or 7 minutes, we saw that Wanderers were able to match St Mary's in the centre, but in the last 4 or 5 bounce downs, Saints have just taken it away at will. And once they're able to put blokes like Cyril Rioli in the open, it makes it very difficult. They've really got to close that centre bounce down up. They've got to go man for man, I believe, and really start to put the pressure on these St Mary's players. Well,
with Mark West on the ground, you'd almost be tempted to bring him into that region. He's a tenacious player. There's the bounce, up goes Taylor. And again, Aaron Perry, easy as you like, out of the centre and straight into the teeth of goal, and here's problems for Wanderers. The gainer can't get onto it, and gee whiz, Perry did that so easily.
The problem, with, of course, when you're playing St Mary's any time is, Kevin, if they get enough ball in their forward line, they're going to score. They've got such good forwards, and you've really got to cut it off up the ground. You've got to have more than your share out of the centre, otherwise you're in trouble.
Big game player, and Perry's proving that again today. Tommy Wheatra contesting the ruck with Taylor. No one can pick up the ball effectively. Tony Bagana tries to, kicked off the ground by Rod Lewis, and it's gone over the line and out of bounds to the right of the St Mary's end of the ground. In the first quarter, St Mary's 5-1-31, 20 minutes in, Wanderers 1-1, 7 behind, 7 points. Gabby Wheatra now in ruck, replacing Ria. Him and Taylor do battle, ball to the ground. Nicely picked up there by, can't quite pick up that player, picked up by Taylor. Kicks the ball towards the centre of the ground. Leading in the race for the ball is Geit. Scott Chisholm comes in late, but Geit gets the ball away. Lee Painter now has the ball. Plenty of room to move. Shane Potter runs in to try and knock the ball down, but not successful in doing so. Durkay over the back there, but the umpire has suggested that the player was over the line.
That'll be Mark West's first touch for what, 2.5 months?
It's been, I think since Christmas, wasn't it, Kevin? I think just before Christmas he was out, and he hasn't played since.
Apparently he's been training fairly well, so we'll find out just how he shapes up to the game. Dunn can't get rid of it, just soccers now, and the mark has been taken by Davidson, by Goit, sorry, Richard Goit. So Goit's kick in towards at the attacking region, and the mark taken by Ted Lydia. Gets straight on with the job. Viola in front, can't take the mark. Perry is there. Viola takes his time and was caught with it again. Painter sizes up the options. The kick is a shocker, and there's no one to kick it to anyway. Peter Rhea found it hard to bend over and pick it up. Oh, chance here for Cusack, puts it on the boot, and there's not a soul there to help him.
A lot of pressure there, Kevin, applied by the St Mary's backline then, and with blokes like Rhea and that dropping back into the backline, playing a kick behind the game, making it difficult.
There's the throw in as we enter time on in this first quarter. 24 points the margin. They'd like a goal here, I'm sure, Wanderers. Free kick has been paid, and here's a chance for them to do it, because the kick will be taken by Rodney Lewis, it is. So Lewis, when he kicks, will kick him about 45. It will be literally into the face of the breeze, so it might be a bit hard. Big crowd in the grandstand there, waiting in anticipation. In comes Lewis for the kick. He puts it up and gives it a fair old chance. It holds in the breeze. The goal umpire says it was touched, so that was a pretty good effort.
Well, it was an exceptional effort.
The box on's on. Brett Jukowicz, Peter Rhea, Cusack's in there, Berto, Troy Angel, Ted Lydia, and that's sorted out pretty quickly. Ian.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky with his kick there into the face of the breeze, and must have only just been inches from the line.
Berto finds McLennan, he couldn't take the mark. Lewis in there. Jukowicz. Well, they waited there for the ball. A couple of Wanderers players. Now Painter puts the ball up. Wheater's underneath it. Mark's not a problem. They let him go and off he goes. There's his kick. Noel Long is his target. Unable to pick it up. The hand pass comes towards Russell Jeffrey. Uses his body well. Gets in the front position again. Comes out for Athanasia. Athanasia tackled, but he got the kick away. Vagana in front. Vagana goes for Corrie. There's the one-on-one race. Corrie, you have to back his skills. There he goes. And Sharkey looked a bit out of his depth there. Chance Russell Jeffrey will run onto this. Left it for Viola, who took his eyes off the ball. Bends over and now he picks it up. And puts the ball out towards his teammate in Richard Goit, but it goes over the boundary line. 2 minutes into time on.
5-1-31 St Mary's. As Kevin said, 2 minutes into time on. 1-2-8 Wanderers. Ball back in play. Taylor contesting with McLennan getting up there. Ball to ground. Noel Long picks up, kicks towards Scott Chisholm. Chisholm in the centre of the ground on the scoreboard side, looking for Brian Stanislas, who's battling for the ball with Russell Jeffrey, but as usual, Russell Jeffrey using his body particularly well, and the ball beating the pair of them over the line and out of bounds. Gabby Wheater looks like he's back in ruck. Michael Ashenadu, Russell Jeffrey, and also standing there for the throw-in is Brad Mawson, the Wanderers. Darryl Taylor to the side as the ball's coming in. Wheater and Taylor will do battle. Knocked away there nicely by Gibson. Ball on the ground, picked up by Russell Jeffrey. Russell Jeffrey towards the centre on the grandstand side of the ground. No one can take the mark. Ball falls to the ground, picked up by Taylor. Taylor looking up forward there for Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith and Darren Stratton battle for the front, with Stratton getting the ball and kicking it nicely on the wing side to Victor Dunn. Victor Dunn straightens up towards Wayne McLennan, straight over his head, and Darryl Taylor, with plenty of room to move for Wanderers, will take the ball and kick it to Troy Angel, who has the mark on the wing side, not quite centre wing. Finding plenty of room there for Wanderers. They're opening up the game and getting the ball in the centre of the ground. Trying hard to take the ball was Painter. He picks it up off the ground, kicks it in towards the forward position, but Shane Ponter is there basically uncontested and takes the mark. Tommy Wheater gives the lead on the far wing. Hand pass over the back as the siren sounds to end the first quarter.
So the margin just 23 points at quarter time. St Mary's do, though, have the breeze. Ryan Smith starts the ruck this time for Wanderers. Daryl Taylor has been moved to full forward at the start of this second quarter. Rioli, Stratton, Liddy. Left foot kick goes over the head of Stanislaus. Out come the Wanderers defenders. Hand pass is long for Goit. It's up for Djurkovic. The fly, he nearly brought it in. Chisholm, hand pass. Oh, Cusack's there. Looked as though he was nearly held without it. Liddy, Hale, support from Chisholm. And St Mary's are away. McLennan's lead. Oh, he fumbled the pass. Cooper then fumbled the pickup. Hand pass to Perry. He's dumped Noel Long. He's danger. Lovely chip towards Wheaterer, and Wheaterer will go back and take the kick. Angle, not really that much of a problem with the way this breeze is. It may drift a little bit from left to right. If he starts at left, he should be okay. And this would be just the start St Mary's coach would be after, I'm sure. They lead by 23 points. Here comes the kick. He starts at left. It fades too much, and he's through for a point.
Saints have started getting the ball out of the centre again, Kevin, and Wanderers really have to knuckle down and do something there.
McLennan off, Carpeney on.
So Carpeney gets a run. Mawson goes for the up in the air to himself effort. Russell Jeffrey provides an avenue for him. And they're going to use the breeze, obviously, because he's given that a 60-metre ride. They've got numbers at the fall of the ball. Cooper, Angel and Liddy. Daryl Taylor. Oh, he's legged and no free kick. Oh, Chisholm. Intercepted. Oh, well done by Durkay. Chisholm again. Can't get it away because Angel threw himself in there.
Good work from Durkay. That's what they've got to do, Kevin. They've got to keep that pressure on.
Bit of desperation I sense there in the Wanderers side. Cusack went up. Mark West. His kick finds no one in particular. Stratton gets rid of it, and it finds the boundary line. They really must answer the challenge in this quarter, Ian.
Without a doubt, Kevin. They've got the use of the breeze. They've got to use the long kicks and have the running players coming past the packs. That's what they need.
Ted Liddy over Hale's head. Goyd overran it and Hale recovers. His kick hugs the boundary line and goes over. Russell Jeffrey will take the kick. Straight past the camera he goes, picks up the ball. Goes right across the ground where he saw the lead of Mawson, who has the sun in his eyes. Mawson goes long again. Taylor on the lead. Whoa! The punch from West, that was effective. Stratton and Angel. Oh, Stratton went for the boundary line. Potter, sorry. Haircut of a bowling ball.
Good backing up by Saints then, but the loose ball, Wanderers really have to concentrate on having players running off the packs in the forward line.
Certainly applying a lot more pressure this quarter, Wanderers. Ball to the ground. Picked up nicely there by Djurkovic.
Painter.
And it's fallen in the hands of Lee Painter, right in front.
A penalty has been applied here, I think. Yes, it has. Birdo was infringed. The 50 has been paid.
Painter will have no problem with this. So second goal for Wanderers, 2-2. Wanderers to St Mary's, 5-2. 3 goals the difference as we're 5 minutes into the second quarter.
Those first few minutes showed Wanderers are very desperate. Desperate, obviously, to get goals on the board, and I guess what you could call a lucky kick. Painter in the right position, and certainly a well-needed goal for Wanderers there. I did notice, though, Kevin, that they got the ball to Taylor a couple of times, but the loose ball on the ground was picked up by St Mary's, and that's where they really need their small blokes like Angel working down off Taylor. If the ball's punched forward, they've got a second opportunity to score a goal.
The big question is who will get the break from the centre. It's been all St Mary's in that situation so far in this game. Umpire Warwick Bott puts the ball down, it goes up. Ryan Smith, and possession has now gone to Wanderers, and they've got the centre break. That's a bonus. Ted Liddy under the ball. Goes out wide, Tom Wheatra. And the hand pass option, Victor Dunn. Back to Wheatra. Up the ground he finds Perry. Gee, they did that fairly easily. Perry's kick is high. One-on-one battle between Vergaina and Timmy Wine. Vergaina's hand pass comes away. Cyril Rioli. This will land on a teammate's chest as a fair bet. Wheatra is the one. Just got away from Andrew Cooper and has a bounce. Puts it up towards the half-forward reach, and the punch from Mawson. Collected by Stanislaus. Hand pass. Good pressure by Wanderers. Viola, left foot. Oh, Huxtable's fallen over on that one. Has he got support? Yes, he has. Ryan Smith pushed as he kicked it. First to the ball is Victor Dunn, the soccer. Oh, Huxtable waited. Can't wait for the ball. It'll go away from you. Rioli, Carpeny, no long. Puts it up high. Here's a one-on-one battle. Oh, well punched by Mawson and over the boundary line. Look, Taylor's really angry, you can see that. A lot of pressure on his side here. He really wants to get away with this game.
Over the back, Athanasiou. No one gets the ball knocked away. Carpeny trying to pick up the crumbs. Can't do so. Gibson in there knocks the ball away. Picked up by Jeffrey. He's grabbed and tripped, in fact, says the umpire. And Russell Jeffrey will take the free kick. Ryan Smith all by himself. Smith over the top to Lewis. Falls down the ground looking for Angel, but the ball knocked away nicely by Shane Ponter and out of bounds. Ponter and Cusack having a little shoulder to shoulder there. Ria in ruck with Smith, picked up by Ponter. Ponter looking for Long, but in the road Andrew Cooper. Durkay gives the lead. Nicely taken. Tommy Wheatra stands the mark.
A little bit of an ado involving Peter Rea again behind the play here, Kevin.
And Ryan
involved
Smith,
in 3 or 4 so far.
The short pass is a shocker, and Noel Long has chipped in and taken it, and away he goes. A promising attack may have broken down. Stratton fumbles.
Oh, Noel Long got one after he got rid of that.
Still on the ground too. We'll keep an eye on that one. Bounce is not a real good one for Wanderers. The punch is though. Chance for them to relieve. The hand pass, Viola. Underneath the ball, looks like Dukowicz. Good mark. Noel Long is still on the ground and in pain with what looks to be a problem with his arm or shoulder. Taylor couldn't take the mark. Birdo, it's a bit willing out there. Hale from behind Goy. Didn't get there in time. Nearly went on with it then. 4 trainers still around Noel Long. Jeffrey will punch. Oh, great mark, Jeffrey! Oh, well done. He goes on with it. Oh, geez, having a good game, Russell Jeffrey. The lead. Taylor! Oh, they're looking good.
Taylor out on his own, a hard play to contest, marking very well at this stage of the year. But again, the opportunity before Taylor was involved, another opportunity that went begging when the small players of Wanderers weren't there to support.
Noel Long is now up, by the way, still holding his arm, and is coming off by the looks of it. So Taylor from 35 to 40 metres. There goes the kick, up in the breeze, but it's good enough, and goal number 3 to Wanderers.
Certainly Wanderers will be looking for Daryl Taylor, in-form player at the end of the season. Since the interstate game, been playing very well, marking very well, and on that occasion a good kick, 40-45 metre kick, and a desperately needed goal by Wanderers.
So So the margin's down to 12 points. No Long is coming off the ground.
Notice they've actually they've moved Russell Jeffries into the centre, Kevin. He's around either on the ball or in the centre, and it's probably a good move and a move that'll boost the Wanderers on 4 players.
And no Long looks like he's going straight to the hospital, I would say. Straight down the players' race and out of the ground. That's a blow for Saints.
Sharkey over there towards Smith, picked up by Wheatra. Wheatra towards his brother Gabby. With a pile of players, picked up by Mawson. Durkay can't take the mark. Scott Chisholm picks the ball up. Hand pass. Viola tackled. Durkay has the run of the ball. But Gabby Wheatra quickly down on him. Kicked off the ground. The umpire has given the free kick to Durkay. Wheatra into his back.
Woeful tackle.
Well, it was. I mean, Gabby had him covered. He had him covered before he even had the ball, really, and for some reason he didn't actually apply the tackle. He pushed instead and consequently gave a free kick away. But
Taylor. Birdo over the back, knocks the ball to ground. Picked up by Stratton. Nicely picked up Cusack. Cusack over the back to Djukowicz. Djukowicz towards Taylor. Ted Liddy in the last line of defence. Punches the ball away, but Taylor picks it up. Pressed by Stanislas. Taylor leading in the run for the ball with Dunn and Stanislas hot on his tail. Picked up by Dunn. Looking for Perry. Perry roaming the centre of the ground. Another booming kick from Perry, looking for Tony Vagona, and a nice mark. Vagona leading Wind in the race for the ball. On the 50-metre line, Tony Vagona. Alan Corrie gives the lead, and a nice kick from Vagona. Corrie leading towards the pocket has taken the mark. 5-2-32 plays 3-2-20. 12 points in at 12 minutes into the second quarter. Alan Corrie looking for his third goal. Close to the boundary line. He's a very accurate kick. Looking for goal 75 for the season, but it won't be that one. On the other side of the post and out of bounds on the full.
Well, opportunity missed there for St Mary's. Mawson told to go back on the right angle. Oh, his kick's a shocker. Trying to give it a bit of extra distance to use the breeze. It's gone out of bounds on the full, and Damien Hale will take the kick. He's 50 metres out from goal.
On the line.
Doubt if he'd make the distance from there. John Taylor watching with great interest. There goes the kick from Hale. Pack forms. Oh yes, Wheatra. So Wheatra with the mark and the easy shot at goal.
yeah, well, Damien Hale, whether he went for the goals or not, it was an effective kick. It landed exactly where a player from that position should put the ball, right in the square, and we're able to see Gabby Wheatra take a mark and shooting now from, well, after a 50-metre penalty, shooting from right on the line.
Interesting point there, Kevin. There was no leads coming though, was there?
No, I don't know why. Well, there's a kick from Wheatra. It's nearly out of the ground. Bang, yes, it is out of the ground. The St Mary's supporters like it, and that's Wheatra's second goal for the game.
Yeah, well, Saints able to respond after Wanderers. We'll just have a look at this mark now, and yeah, definitely Wheatra's mark all the way. The only hands on that one, I think, were Wheatra's. I think there was a few people that were a bit dubious about the mark, but the replay showed that it was a mark.
Yeah, can't understand
but
why.
Saints able to reply pretty quickly, Kevin. Wanderers seem to have the last 10 minutes of the game tied up, but now Saints, in the matter of about 2 kicks, were able to get the ball from a Wanderers scoring position into to convert for a goal for themselves. So they've given themselves now a 3-goal lead.
Smith and Rhea to contest. 15-minute mark, second quarter. Smith gets the knock away. Russell Jeffrey. Ball up towards centre half forward. Pace there. Got the ball past him, Davison. Picked up by Berto. Berto over the back towards Damien Hale. Hale can't take the mark. Pressed by Durkay, but Hale gets the kick away. Kim Carpety It's met there by Painter, who kicks the ball off the ground. Peter Rhea comes through. Over the back is Perry. Perry tries to break away from Jeffrey, can't do so. Viola trying to pick the ball up. He gets a nice hand pass away to Durkay. Durkay up forward in the pocket, and a nice mark taken there by Gary Davidson. Good long kick into the goal and touched through by Ted Liddy. Well, there was no one there at all until Liddy came through and got his hands to it, but has gone behind the line, of course, and 1 point.
Yeah, the strange part about that was I think everyone in the Oval knew he was going for a goal except for the Wanderers players.
Birdo relieves the pressure. Gee whiz, that was close. Up goes Jerkowicz, nearly pulls it in. The soccer from Wheatra. Pressure applied. Wanderers really giving it their all. They need to get back in the game. Viola just laid over the ball, copped a bit of attention as a result. Pressure from Henry. Cooper. Oh, he sees Lewis out wide on the wing. He's only got a set for him. It doesn't. Oh, he was tackled. And they muffed that, I reckon, Wanderers. They really did. Hammer Henry puts the kick in towards Wheatra, who takes the mark in the centre of the ground. 17 minutes in, 17 points the margin. Over there on his own is Victor Dunn. The kick's gone over his head. Cooper's on his hammer. This will be interesting. He got the kick away. Away they go. Stanislaus decides he'll put the ball on the turf. Oh, good punch there by Athanasia, but no support, unfortunately. Gibson, want to get rid of it, he does. Oh, the kick, terrific, lands in Jerkowicz's hands. Did that very well, and Taylor, the pass was a beauty. Well, Taylor, I think he's kicked one already from this position. So, in fact, almost right the exact same spot. Margin 17 points. If he kicked this and brought it back to 11, I think you'd find that Wanderers would really have their tails in the air. There goes Taylor's kick and wobbles off the boot. Ah, it's good enough anyway. Goal!
Great kick from Taylor. Very, very good kick.
Off the boot, it looked like it was going to go out of bounds in the full, but it found its way through the goals, and certainly not the way I think he wanted to kick it, but it was effective. More of a drop torpedo. But it's certainly a goal that Wanderers desperately need, and we might see Wanderers fire up again for the last 5 or 6 minutes of this quarter, Kevin.
Yes, it'll be very, very interesting at half-time if they did. Taylor's been a real boost for them at full forward. Russell Jeffrey on the ball has given them bite. They're creating play from across the centre of the ground. Up goes Ryan Smith, nearly landed in Jeffrey's hands. He's still there, battling for the ball. He allows position for Lewis. The lead of Taylor. Cusack, can he run onto it? Taylor, the hand pass. Angel. Oh, they go in hard. The hand pass sees Chisholm run onto the ball. Oh, he's hotly pursued. Henry. Stratton. Oh, good pressure from Wanderers. And they're playing well.
Gabby Wheatra gets a hand to it. Viola, interfered with by his own player Durkay there. No one can pick the ball up. Ted Liddy gets it, but it's picked up by Russell Jeffrey. In towards Taylor. Birdo a fair way behind. Taylor can't take them off. Wheatra picks up the crumbs, but he's hotly pressed by Lewis. Wheatra nicely off the ground, but towards Taylor. Taylor back to Wheatra, and Wheatra again hits the ball along the ground. Tim Carpenter picks it up. Knocked away there by Cooper. Umpire says that's enough.
Again, Taylor leading out. The ball came to the ground. It was a St Mary's player that was taking the ball away, and I think they've really got to have someone, a smaller player alongside Taylor, to give him support if the ball comes to the ground.
Well, Viola's kick high, wide and handsome into the pocket. Ponta tapped it over for Stratton. Chisholm runs it out. The bump behind play. Viola was in front and Painter punches. And in the backdrop you can see this very big crowd in the grandstand there at Marara. right on time on in this second quarter. 11 points the margin. Classic pressure grand final stuff here at Footy Park. Stanislaus goes out towards the open spaces. No one's there. Vagona on the run. Chance now for Wheater. If it sits for him, it does. Goes towards Athanasia. It eludes him. Gibson is there. Angel runs onto it. Lewis. Can he get the hand pass away? He can't. Wind can't get possession. Rioli gets the hand pass out. Cooper weaves through the pack. What can he set up? Oh, look at this. Jukowicz.
Beautiful pass there by Cooper.
Oh, yes. Good move. Huxtable. They did that easy.
Pretty important goal, I'd say, for Wanderers to be able to keep their momentum going here. But beautifully disposed of ball there by Andrew Cooper. 45-metre pass to Jukowicz.
Huxtable gets close to the man, puts the ball up. Oh, only 5 points in it.
The Wanderers, to their credit, have come back quite well this quarter, Kevin. Heaps of desperation, and they've had a lot of opportunities. You see Cooper find the space here, look down the ground. He actually looked, he saw the player, and a beautiful kick. Found Jukowicz, and Jukowicz quickly played on, past to Huxtable, and see the goal results.
5 points in it, Mick. This is a real classic.
Yeah, definitely not what a lot of people would expect of Kevin, but Ian's right in what he says, that Wanderers have really put it in hard this quarter, and they've reaped the benefits. There's no doubt about that. Free kick found from the bounce. Going St Mary's way. Gabby Wheater has the ball. Peter Rea leads up from towards the centre-half forward position. No one can take the mark. Ball to the ground. Tony Vagona picks the ball up, knocks it on in front as he's hotly pressed there by Mawson. Michael Athanasiou, soccer fashion, along the ground, and beats him over the line and out of bounds. Just on the 50-metre line in the far pocket on the grandstand side of the ground. Smith Rea will do battle in ruck. Rea tries to take the ball out of the ground, and the umpire has given a free kick to Smith. Not too sure about that one. Must have been something there. He goes. Goit. Mawson. Gabby Wheater coming through with great pace. Picked up by Corrie to Liddy. Liddy looking for Vagona, but kick was short. Nice hand pass there. Picked up by Wind. Wind to Durkay. Durkay, fingertip job. Couldn't quite pull it in, and it's gone over the line.
Well, you can really feel the pressure starting to build in this game now. 5 points the difference. 3 minutes into time on in the second quarter. Players like Durkay and Jeffrey really firing. Athanasius is doing well for Saints. And that kick has gone out of bounds on the full. Kick under pressure. Peter McCann hands the ball back. In the middle, Hale. Oh, the hand pass is a shocker. Gee, they wouldn't want to lose possession of this, Saints, because a turnover would be disastrous. Rioli rescues them. Durkay, have a look at this. This is what I was talking about. Jukowicz, all on his own. Taylor! Oh! Marvellous what good tackling can do.
Gary Durkay, you mentioned before starting to get into the play, Kevin. It's important that he fires, and he has for the last 10 or 15 minutes, and an exceptionally good player, and with the ability to be able to pass the ball as he did then, putting Taylor under a good position to kick a goal here.
Taylor could put him in front at the half-time break. There's only 5 points in it. There's the shot. Oh, it's a winner, and they're in front at half-time by just 1 point. Ryan Smith and Peter Rea do battle in ruck. 1 point the margin in favour of Wanderers after a devastating second quarter. The ball goes nowhere. Rea's caught with it and gets rid of it. In there is Painter. He can't get a hold of it. The kick nearly came out for Wanderers. Onto the ball is Berto. He's obviously been taken out of full back. Russell Jeffrey. He's the man that set it up for them in the second quarter and could do so in this one. Durkay's kick lands in the hands of Huxtable. And wouldn't they like to start this quarter well? There's the kick, the lead of Taylor, and he's taken the mark. Oh, well.
Didn't put a lot into that contest, Stratton.
Taylor will kick from about 50 metres into the face of the breeze. It'll be hard to make the distance, I would imagine. There goes the kick. It holds up on the breeze, who's there in the goal square. No one for Wanderers. Wheatra. Oh, this is towards a pack of Wanderers players. Durkay towards Cooper. Goes out wide to Russell Jeffrey, who puts it in high. Taylor in the contest. Liddy was there as well. A punch from Chisholm. Noel Long back on the field with bruised ribs. Durkay. Long in there. Oh, flying through was Chisholm. Durkay's onto the ball. Breaks away. Oh, chance here for the man Taylor, who's missed. Oh dear.
Well, gee, Wanderers be kicking themselves there. I don't know whether Taylor was able to see the other Wanderers player that was in the goal square then. Even though, well, the TV you can't see it, but there was another Wanderers player coming around. Probably pretty hard for Daryl Taylor to see him. But certainly it wasn't a score.
Painter runs under the ball, ducks his head into the tackle. Noel Long is there, picks up the crumbs. Ted Liddy had a good game. Berto. There goes his kick. Mawson and Wheatra. Whoops. Free kick. Goes out wide. Russell Jeffrey covering a mountain of ground. Oh, dearie me. Russell Jeffrey really giving 100% in this game. Ryan Smith. They seem to all of a sudden have a lot of loose players, Wanderers. Painter, no support. Athanasius hand pass for Long. Keeps it inside the boundary line. He's kicked. In fact, no, he was over the boundary line.
6-2-38, St Mary's Wanderers in front by 2 points, 6-4-40, 3 minutes into the third quarter.
That's Russell Jeffries down by the look of it over there. Oh, gee, they don't need that.
No, he's been in fantastic form, Jeffrey. Smith and Rea to compete. Rea plucks it out of the air. Kicks it off a player. Knocked away by Berto. Long couldn't get the ball. Wanderers in possession, kick towards Wheatra, couldn't take the mark, well pressed there by Smith. Perry with the ball. Gabby Wheatra in the pocket. Spins around, keeps the ball in play, but hand passes it out of bounds. He was looking for Wayne McLennan, but the pass is stray and out of bounds. Smith pick and test with Gabby Wheatra. Smith knocks the ball down. Picked up by Wanderers. Cooper. Nice hand pass. Dropped though by Mawson. In there done. Can't pick it up. Umpire the ball up. Mawson at the bottom of the pack. Towards Viola and Perry. Viola, Perry battle hard for the ball. Wheatra comes in from the side. Durkay being well bumped out of position there by Chisholm. Picked up by Athanasiou. Ball spins off players and picked up by Chisholm. Chisholm in towards the forward pocket. Wheatra looking for the man instead of the ball. Once again pays the penalty. I think it's Smith that has it to Sharkey. Leads up ground. Viola, Rea. No one can take the mark. Chisholm over the back, picks the ball up. Hotly pressed by Viola. Picked up nicely there by Huxtable. Kicks the ball around towards the boundary line, down towards the forward pocket. Burdo leading in the race for the ball just in advance of Davidson, but the ball goes over the line.
Wanderers are tackling hard.
The Wanderers, yeah, they are. They work the ball quite well, I thought, around the boundary, then out of their danger zone into their forward line, and they'll be pretty happy if they can get a score while it's up there.
Peter Rea gets clean possession of the ball. He's tackled by Jukowicz, and that's exactly what we're talking about. They are tackling well. Peter Rea gives a bit of cheek to Cusack. In comes the boundary throw in. Jukowicz punches, couldn't get it to anybody in particular. Cyril Rioli loses the ball. Damien Burdo is there to assist. But they still keep applying the pressure, Wanderers. St Mary's find themselves going backwards. Wheater. Whoa, the big hit there from Jukowicz, and down go the two of them. Under the ball comes the big fella in Smith. The hand pass. The punch. No long. Possession. Goes across the ground in hope. Numbers in favour of Wanderers. Keeper made space for himself. Can get away. He does. There's the kick. Taylor on the lead. Oh, he's marked it.
Gee, John Taylor would be looking at seriously looking at something to do with Taylor, because once they get the ball flowing, Taylor gets in front. He's a spearhead up there for them, and he'd have to be a thorn in John Taylor's crown right at the very moment.
So Darryl Taylor it is. John Taylor looking on.
Stratton's definitely not the answer.
The kick will be from about 40 to 45 metres. The breeze going left to right. He starts at left. Will it come back? Oh, it's a goal! No, it's missed.
See, that looked in, Kevin, didn't it?
Didn't it what? 3 points to margin. Athanasia now in defence. Goes with a long screw punt. It goes a heck of a distance. Painter nearly took the mark. Noel Long gets the crumbs, puts it up in front of Ted Liddy. Punches towards the boundary line. Gets possession back. Hand pass towards Wheater. He thumps it on. Berto is there. Noel Long can run onto the ball and make room for himself. Has a bounce. Sets it up for the lead of Wheater. Sharkey went up. Wheater's hand pass for Curry. Danger. Tackled and tackled well. The defence is doing very well for Wanderers. Lawson falls over. Sharkey grabbed without it and gets the free kick, and there's relief.
Gee, some great football there by Wanderers. Some great football. Excellent pressure, and at this present stage, Saints starting to fumble a little bit.
Viola's hand pass went out wide. Keeper. Oh, he has space. The kick is out of bounds. Oh, gee whiz. They could have been about 10, 15 points in front with a bit of luck. St Mary's capable of bouncing back at any stage and destroying sides.
Well, they're not looking like it at the moment, Kevin.
Hale. Well, you wouldn't back against them, would you?
Play on!
The record is pretty flash in football in the last decade. Punch. Painter is there. Cyril Rioli sets it up for Noel Long. Noel Long bounces into goal. There goes the kick, and that's what I'm talking about, because Saints are now back in front.
Saints to score the first goal after quarter time, and after half time and 10 minutes into the quarter, shows what sort of pressure there's been, Kevin. There's been a heap of pressure, probably if anything favouring the Wanderers side, but then just a lapse, and the experience of Noel Long and the pace, and I guess the ability under pressure to steady down 40 metres out and put a beautiful left foot goal through. Put Saints back in front, and I think Wanderers would be very wary about letting Saints get a couple of goals at this stage of the game.
Russell Jeffrey resting in the forward pocket after taking that knock.
Back to centre bounce. Rea and Smith. Rea taps the ball away. Perry tries to pick it up. Having a bit of trouble doing so. A lot of pressure applied there. Now picked up by Damien Hale onto the left foot, out towards the wing. Noel Long leading in the race for the ball. Noel Long can't take the mark, but he has it in possession. Drives back towards the centre of the ground. Damien Hale can't take it. Picked up by Perry. Perry onto the left foot towards Stanislas. With him is Geit. Stanislas knocking the ball on. Tony Vagona now leading in the race for the ball, but It's beaten him over the line and out of bounds. It's 7-2-44 St Mary's, 6-5-41. 10 minutes into the third quarter, 1 point the difference in the 92-93 NTFL Grand Final. Gabby Wheatra and Smith to contest ruck. Smith gets it away. Nice hand pass over the top there to Mick Totham. Racing through there was Brad Morsam. Can't pick it up. Perry taps it on. Then Victor Dunn. Picked up by Berto. Nice hand pass to Wheatra, but Wheatra decides to knock the ball on. He's probably been better off collecting. Cooper has it now. Oh! Big flash behind play there, with Gabby Wheatra going to ground. Wanderers player Lewis falls over. Over the back is Ted Leddy, who's had quite a good game. Hand passes to Ponta, and Ponta over the top to Chisholm.
And Wheatra's in trouble on the ground at the half-forward line. Athanasia in the centre. It was a heavy bump that Viola put on Gabby Wheatra. Athanasia's kick. The punch from behind. The fall of the ball, Painter. Kicks up in the air. Russell Jeffrey makes room for Lewis, and he marks. Should get a move on while Taylor's in a one-on-one situation. Oh, nearly pulls it down. Huxtable. Chisholm's in there. Wheatra gets through the pack, puts it up for Chisholm. Chisholm over to Ponta. Ponta can't take it. Oh! The free kick. Wheatra. Wanderers just starting to go the man a bit. I just wonder whether they should concentrate to get on the footy.
That's it! That's it!
Mawson. Oh, Wheatra went in late. That'll be downfield. That's the third undisciplined thing that Wheatra's done. And I think a 50-metre has been paid as well. And Viola can shoot for goal.
There's from what the 50-metre line in the Wanderers back line, or the Saints forward line, to within about 30 metres of Wanderers goals, and there's 100 metres of space lost by some fairly undisciplined actions here by a couple of St Mary's players.
And Berto is now being carried off and looks in real trouble. Gee whiz, this has been a tough grand final. Viola lines up the shot for goal. It wobbles off the beat, and now Wanderers are back in front.
Gee, Kevin, it's shaping up to be a tremendous game. I mean, I was of the opinion that one side was going to make a break in the first 10 or 15 minutes of this quarter, and it just hasn't happened. I mean, the scoreline's still roughly the same as it was at half-time, and gee, you know, it'd be very hard to pick a winner at this stage. St Mary's had a few problems with Damien Berto and a couple of other players that have got injuries, and you know, it's pretty even at this stage.
Berto's in real strife, I can tell you, as he's come off the ground. Ryan Smith soccers. Durkay, what can he do? Cooper. Oh, set upon by three. Durkay again. Carpenter, who's just come onto the ground and replaced the injured Berto. One-handed attempt. Alan Corrie. Problems. St Mary's could find themselves back in front. How's the kick? It's offline. Oh, I tell you what.
Wait to the flag, Tim! Tim!
Mawson.
Play on!
Has supporting Goit. Goit has loose men up the field. Painter is one of them. He's under the ball and marks it. Should go towards Jerkowicz at centre half forward, where he's one-on-one with McLennan. He doesn't. Oh, what an error. Athanasia. Two warnings to come back on the mark from the umpire. Athanasia's kick towards Carpenter. Bumps into a brick wall by the name of Andy Viola. And he's not moving terribly well either, Carpenter. Oh, and the umpire says play on. And that's what's happened. There's the kick to Bergainer.
2 metres, Tim! 2 metres back! 2 metres!
See, 2 metres back, says the umpire, and he does that, the player. Bergainer's capable of kicking a goal from here. Carpenter's still on the ground.
Yeah, they look to be little in that. Kevin too.
Yeah. It's now sitting
They're
up.
the worst ones sometimes.
regain it. The kick is offline, and the margin is down to 1 point in favour of Wanderers.
Saints have lifted their level of trying here, Kevin. I think they're really starting to put it in now. I mean, I'm not saying they haven't been trying before, but they're really lifting themselves now to get themselves back in front in this quarter.
They certainly need to man up because there's too many Wanderers players taking marks all over the ground, basically uncontested. Chisholm down towards Cyril Rioli. Looked as though that player was in his back there, but umpire says play on. Viola tackled by Wheatra. Tommy Wheatra this time. Cyril Rioli throws it off the ground.
And Ryan Smith is down and in trouble too. He cut one in the head in that last pack. I reckon the umpire missed the first in the back there and saw the second. But Cyril Rioli has it. Ryan Smith is not quite sure where he is. No, it's over McLennan's head. Lewis should go over the top. Oh, he does now. Oh, have a look at this. They can set up. Huxtable, Jukowicz, and the mark has been taken by Wanderers. Move it on, they say. Cusack! And should be 50.
Well, there's no doubt a 50-metre penalty there. It was at least a second or so after the player had taken the mark. There was no need to put the player down. And in fairness and to be consistent, there should be a 50-metre penalty in that one.
And the crowd is really getting pumped. They can sense that Wanderers have a chance. St Mary's are lifting their work rate. Cusack from 25, his last attempt was a shocker. The 16-year-old with a huge future. There goes the kick. Oh, who knows? He's missed again.
It's a bad miss, Kevin.
It's 2 easy ones they should have had.
Should be kicking those.
With the breeze, as usual, up that end, Kevin always plays a bit of havoc and swings the ball around. I guess it makes it even more difficult for a left footer from that end with a natural hook.
Stratton put the ball back into play. Over towards the grandstand wing. Ria. In front there was Jukowicz. He couldn't take the mark. Liddy has the ball. Over the back to Chisholm. Chisholm plays on. Carpenter shepherd, but Chisholm over the top to Carpenter. Carpenter has tons of speed. Well shepherded there by Rioli. Up towards the pocket. Wheatra over the back. Had a very poor game today, Gabby Wheatra.
Well, I don't know about the Welsh shepherd there. I thought Cyril Rioli took his legs out from underneath him. Mick, and I think that's a free kick if a player does that. You can't tackle below knee height.
Up in the forward pocket. Fast approaching the 20-minute mark of the third quarter. 2 points the difference in favour of Wanderers. In ruck, Wheatra. Mawson, by the look of it, no, Smith it is over the back. Taps the ball down. Ball up towards Perry, behind him Viola, knocks the ball away very nicely, comes to ground, picked up by Cyril Rioli. Durkay hot on his hammer, but Rioli gets the kick away. Carpenter can't take it. Nicely picked up there by Gibson. Then on to Smith, back to Durkay, takes a lovely one-hander just in front of Aaron Perry. So Durkay has the ball on the 50-metre line, all on his own. Viola, Chisholm too late on the scene, and Viola shows him the ball. Athanasiou over the back, knocks the ball away, comes to ground. Lewis leading in the race for the ball, picks it up nicely. Hand pass across there to Huxtable. Huxtable nicely over to Cusack. Cusack gets the ball into the forward pocket, but it's over the line on the full. And the kick will go to Liddy.
Is it a kick or a throw in?
No, it looks like a throw in. I thought it was on the full, Kevin.
Looked like it was on the full, didn't it?
Well, they're closer. In comes the throw in. The margin is 2 points in favour of Wanderers. We're 19 minutes into the third quarter. Cusack. Oh, what can you do, son? Puts the ball up. Oh, it's got a cross goal and out of bounds on the full. Oh, they should dead set be 18 points in front, but they're not. They're only 2. And we're approaching, or right on, time on. Stratton. In front is Noel Long. safe as a house. Hand pass, Wheatra. Here's danger because it's Durko one-on-one, but Chisholm's too good. Play on was the call, that's why the tackle was applied. Chisholm, I don't know why it was play on there. Over the top. Oh, now Corrie's in the van here. Oh, it's gone over the boundary line, and gee whiz, regardless of what happens the next couple of minutes, this is going to be set up for a blinder.
Well, it's been a great quarter, Kevin. I mean, only 2 goals scored between both sides, but gee, what a great quarter of football. Real pressure.
Well, Smith, Wheatra. Whoa, Wheatra thump. One-on-one. Vagana can't get over it. Carpenter, Corrie couldn't even get the kick away. Oh, gee, that was out of bounds. The goal umpire signalled, which was picked up by the central umpire, who relayed it to the boundary umpire. Football message delivered on time. There's the throw-in. The big thump from Russell Jeffrey. I reckon he's saving himself for the last quarter, by the way. You see a big effort from him on the ball.
He was down earlier in this quarter, but back up again and firing, so it couldn't have been too serious an injury.
Minute into time on. 2 points the margin in favour of Wanderers. It was 1 point their way at quarter time. 23 St Mary's way at quarter time. Hale. Viola's onto it now after the good tackle. If they can take the mark here, the big fella Gibson. Oh, he does too. And he's brought down. And no 50 has been paid.
Well, this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this was 3 or 4 seconds after the player had received the ball, and he should have been given a 50-metre penalty.
Jukowicz is marked. He plays on the blonde bombshell. Oh, it's a point. Oh,
irrespective, Kevin, I mean, that was as obvious a free kick as you could be given. The play had almost stopped when the player was brought down. It should have been a 50-metre penalty.
Similar to Cusacks, it would have put both the players right on the line. I'd say those 2 decisions have cost 2 goals. The thump. Viola playing the best football I've seen him play all season. Gibson on his own is Cusack. Should give it to Taylor. Should go on with it now. There are 3 of them on their own.
Takes his time, Kevin. It's probably the right side here for a left footer. If he's going to use his left foot, it's probably the right side of the ground for him.
Crucial kick. There it goes. It's offline. Up they go. Oh, the mark's been taken.
Well, gee,
Gary Davidson.
Wanderers opportunity after opportunity and still can't get that goal on the board. Perhaps this one will be different.
I don't know where he's walking to. He's going to get pulled back. 3 points the margin. Will it be 9? That would be such a big margin in this game. In he comes. The kick looks okay. It's a goal and they do lead by 9.
I guess a fairly easy goal there by Gary Davidson, and looking at the goals that were the opportunities that were scored before, it was a blooming handy goal because Wanderers had probably 4 or 5 opportunities in the 5 or so minutes before that and couldn't score. A very important goal, Kevin.
Sure was, and it was set up by a good tackle of Andy Viola.
I don't think by any means Saints are out of this game, but it's certainly going to take a great Saints performance to get themselves back in this game now, because Wanderers are full of enthusiasm. Saints suffering from a couple of injuries are really going to have to turn it on.
Well, Jukowicz, Gibson, Cusack. Oh, spinning into the pack. Oh, should have been a throw, not picked up. Gibson used his strength. Davidson, Taylor. Oh, just desperate defence by St Mary's. The suckers away. Davidson pulled down. Chance for Carpenter. Gee whiz, I reckon they lost another chance at goal there, Wanderers. Russell Jeffrey thumps and effective play. Oh, gee whiz, don't they like it? 9 points to margin, 5 minutes into time on. You would think that that's what it will be at 3/4 time. Who would have picked that? Rhea makes an error. Ryan Smith gets the free kick. Should go in a hurry. Jukowicz marks. He should do the same. He wheels around. There's the kick. It's to no one in particular. They wasted an opportunity again. Perry,
That's it,
fully
Rod.
covered.
Go on.
Away he goes. Puts the kick up high. The thump. Chance for defence relief again in the agency of Russell Jeffrey. There is the 3/4 time siren. The Eagles supporters like it because they're 9 points in front, and this is going to be a blinder of a grand final last quarter. Yeah. Not that I'm excited at all. Well, this is the big moment for both sides. The margin is 9 points in favour of Wanderers. They have it all before them. St Mary's have their record and their proud past to protect. Rioli. Victor Dunn. Berto and Vagona are off, by the way, for St Mary's. Berto has his shoulder in a sling. Viola does the hard work. Cooper can't get away. Ball goes towards the boundary, up the boundary line. Viola onto it again. Gets through, can't get rid of the ball. Caught holding the ball.
Back, Sean.
Carpeny
Play on.
to Athanasia. Another Saints player is down in the middle of the ground. Athanasia, temporary lull in the game.
Run it there, Tim.
Victor Dunn's kick. Sets it up for Carpeny. He wanted to go on with it. Mawson on the mark.
Don't worry. Got it. That's it.
Tension on Brian Hood's face, the coach of Wanderers. 2 goals they've kicked in the last 2 quarters, St Mary's. They would need a good start here. Wheater, the player that was down for St Mary's, is now back up, looks okay. Carpeny's kick won't make the distance. The pack forms in the goal square. Ryan Smith takes the relieving mark. Goes on with the handball, and they're away. They have Huxtable out on the wing, and he has room to move. And Wheater pulls out of the tackle. Up goes the big fella, and Jigowicz can't complete the mark. They got out of that pressure situation well, did Wanderers. There's the throw-in. No long, can't get rid of it. Durkee does it Pele style, and the mark is taken by Huxtable. Has Lewis in the centre, hasn't seen him yet. The lead of the big fella in Jigowicz. Jigowicz looks for Taylor, gets under the ball, he's marked it! Oh, sensational mark, unbelievable.
Jigowicz and Taylor working exceptionally well today. Every time that Jigowicz has got the ball, I mean, a left foot kick there, a beautiful left foot pass, and Taylor's capped it off by taking some excellent marks under pressure. Pretty important goal, I guess, for Wanderers here.
You're not
It would certainly make the odds against St Mary's getting back far more difficult.
I didn't see a lot of pressure there, Ian, to be honest with you. It's a great mark, just the same.
Taylor's kick from 45. He puts it up. It looks okay. Oh, they lead by 15.
Darryl Taylor's efforts today, I think, have been extraordinary, Kevin. I mean, he really hasn't put a foot wrong. I think he may have missed a goal earlier, but he's taken most of his marks, and as he kicked that goal from around about 45 to 50 metres out, he's proved an invaluable player in their forward line, particularly being able to score from around about the 50-metre line.
He's had a great season too, in general, Darryl Taylor, particularly in the finals. Played very well in the finals indeed. Well, Wanderers looking the goods at the moment, nearly 5 minutes into the last quarter. Smith gets the tap away. Picked up there by Jukowicz, who's figured prominently in most of the play today. Cusack has the ball. Wanderers back into attack. Davidson in front of Ponta, right in front of goal. And this is exactly the start that Wanderers would be wanting.
The Wanderers fans sensing victory here, Mick, and really giving it giving the Wanderers players their support.
There it is.
An error of judgment by Shane Ponder then that probably under normal circumstances he wouldn't have made, and 5 minutes into the last quarter of a grand final, and we'll see here he misjudged where the ball was going to go, thought he'd take the backward position and the ball landed short.
Well, you can sense an atmosphere around this football ground that says football upset, and Wanderers are supercharged. Since quarter time they have kicked 9 to St Mary's 2. They are in control of the match and they lead comfortably, you would suggest, by 21 points. Rhea and Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith with a punch. Chukowicz nearly had it. Shirt fronts Athanasia. The lazy kick by Cooper. Back onto it they go now. There's the kick. It's Taylor and Stratton. Behind is Davidson. Chukowicz gets the cleats of ball and misses. Oh, that could have been the sealer.
Kick over. Bring it back down, Mike. That's it.
Oh, is there pressure here? St Mary's make the error under pressure. It's out of bounds on the full.
We called it, Kevin, pressure. And when the pressure's on in this situation, players do things they normally don't do, like kick out of bounds on the full.
Davidson for Taylor. Nearly marks it. Djukowicz tries to burst through the pack. Liddy is there. Can't get it away. In goes Cusack. Now out comes the runner, Victor. Davidson! Well, pressure again.
Right out of it, please.
Oh, they can sense victory.
Right out of it,
They're doing everything right. St Mary's are making errors under pressure. They are bursting through packs and applying hard tackles. Committed football from the Eagles. Davidson lines up to make the margin 27. There goes the kick. He starts it left. It looks okay. That's a goal.
Well, the Wanderers crowd going even more ecstatic about that, and a kick that looked initially like it was going to be a behind and came back in, and everything going right for Wanderers now, but they're making the game. They've lifted a cog in almost every quarter, and gee, what can you say with 15 to 20 minutes to go? Saints have got a real battle here. I still don't believe they're out of it, but gee, very, very difficult to get back in here.
Well, they're like Swedish tennis fans, some of those supporters. Wheatra is now in ruck. Rhea has been taken out of it. The move may have come a bit late. Chance for Dunn. Smothered. Wheatra. Durkay. Have a look at this. Chukowicz. The lead. Gibson should run in. Doesn't. Takes it easy. Oh, the pressure they applied in that centre break.
Well, a big turnaround from the earlier part of the game, Kevin, when Saints were dominating the centre, and a few changes that have been made, and just a general attitude.
Gibson's kick, has it got in? It's home for a goal, and I reckon the Eagles might be home.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way, Kevin. And full credit to them too.
Impossible situation for the St Mary's side now, with having to score almost as many goals in the next 15 minutes as they've scored in the whole game, and Wanderers just not prepared to concede at this stage. No way in the world. I mean, Wanderers are going from strength to strength, it looks like.
Well, they are really on fire. They say that it takes 4 quarters of committed football to beat St Mary's. We're seeing it here today. Devastating tackling from the Eagles. Smith in ruck for the Eagles. Wheatra, his opposition. Up goes Smith and gets the punch again. Chisholm goes out wide. Rhea and Russell Jeffrey. Brilliant hand pass from Rioli. Wheatra muffed it. Tommy Wheatra now collects. The big fella in Peter Rhea. Can he lift them with a goal? No, he can't. It's 3 for a point. There are 3 Eagles players on their own on the grandstand side, something that you are only used to seeing from St Mary's, and another one for them. Goit. Goit's kick towards the big fella, Gibson and Ponta. Gibson punches. Hale, timing, Athanasia. Athanasia tries to get Saints to do something. Chance for Tommy Wheater in the crumbs. Sharkey goes for the boundary line. Recovery from Cyril Rioli. Delightful pass, but it's over the head of Carpenter. Noel Long, he'll have a shot. It's not a bad one, it drifts. He's missed.
The old story, Kevin, when you're hot, everything goes right for you, and when you're not, just you can't do anything right. And Saints in that situation now, goals that Noel Long would not normally miss, didn't look like a goal really when it left his boot.
Well, you could say the same thing at the start of the third quarter too, Ian, because Wanderers were pepping away and they missed 2 or 3 easy shots. On the wing, grandstand side, Cooper leading in the race for the ball. Caps it on beautifully in front of him. Nice piece of work, Cooper. To Taylor, lovely mark, Taylor, turns around, kicks it in towards Davison in the pocket. Tries to keep it in play, but he can't do so.
Oh, gee. Taylor's pumped up. He went on with that, didn't he?
He's had a magnificent game, Daryl Taylor. Cooper has done very, very well for Wanderers, as well as Russell Jeffrey and Dukowicz. Viola, they've had some great players. Good, hard, solid tackling all day, and they're reaping the benefits. Taylor knocks the ball away to Ponta. Ponta out towards the wing to Chisholm. Chisholm in front of Cooper, tries to get around him and kicks the ball out of bounds on the full.
Well, the pressure again from the Wanderers players, resulting in an error from St Mary's, and they kick the ball in their attacking zone. 12 minutes into the last quarter. Cooper goes for the torpedo, but it wobbles. Dukowicz gets in front of Carpenter. Carpenter gets a hand pass away. Relieving kick from Liddy. McLennan can't get the hand pass away. Yes, he does. Athanasia, the kick falls off his boot. Cyril Rioli, he's lifted a cog. So is this man, Noel Long. He goes on with it. Does he have support? He does. Tommy Wheater. Wheater. There are no loose men in their forward line. There is the lead. Corrie. Oh, he's dropped the mark. Victor Dunn has the shot for goal. It looks okay. That's a goal. Watch out, Wanderers.
Good bit of work by Victor Dunn then. Alan Corrie probably put himself under pressure, and Victor Dunn was able to recover and snap a handy goal for St Mary's. But gee, I don't know. With 10 minutes to go, I think they've certainly got a huge task ahead of them, and Wanderers still pepped up and full of energy and still going hard.
They'd need 2 or 3 quick ones, very quick ones.
Fellows like Gibson and Viola have really lifted this quarter, Kevin, and really put themselves in almost. I saw Gibson, a big man, chase a smaller player a bit earlier, a couple of minutes ago, and it's this sort of effort that's put Wanderers ahead.
Ryan Smith wins the ruck again. Dukowicz goes in for the punch. Viola, the man you were talking about. Davidson runs onto the ball. Gibson puts it up. Taylor on his own. Oh, the man is unbelievable.
Not an easy mark either, Kevin. Not an easy mark. Gee, he hasn't done too many things wrong today.
He's already kicked 4 goals. And this one, I would say, if he kicks it, will be the nail in the coffin for St Mary's, who have lost just 1 match this season. That was by less than a goal to Waratahs. Taylor for goal number 5. Straight through.
I think the majority of the crowd here have already made up their minds which club they're going to join the celebrations of tonight, Kevin.
Have a look at this, Gibson.
Good unselfish play too.
– 14 minutes in. Big stumbles, Saints won't lay down.
I can't see them coming back, Kevin, to be honest with you. I can't see it. They really haven't done enough in the last 3 quarters of football. to indicate that they'll come back. There was a very quick reply from Wanderers there after that goal that St Mary's got.
The margin's 31 points. You would think against any other side that that's enough. But we've all learnt never to ride off the Saints machine. Kicks up in the air. Rio was back in ruck. Carpeny, Athanasia. There's his kick. Mawson charges it. Very important mark that from Mawson. Goes out wide. They seem to have all the answers. Sharkey. Huxtable is alone in the centre. Well, the kick's a hospital one. The punch from Wheatra. Russell Jeffrey. Body over the ball. Bursts through the pack. Hand pass is up for Viola. Taps it down beautifully for Durkay. And Durkay puts it down the throat of Gibson, who can't get there in time. Taps it over. Davidson is there. Chisholm. Henry. Hammer Henry puts it out wide, where he does have. Oh, no, he doesn't. The punch. Perry's kick. Mawson from behind, a thump. Brilliant football by Mawson. Huxtable with a hand pass. Mark West puts it up high and says, Daryl Taylor, have a go at this. Davidson! Oh, yes!
What a mark!
I guess from the word go, John Taylor's biggest worry today would have been the marking power that the Wanderers players have got up forward, and when you haven't got a bloke like Taylor or Dukowitz or Sean Cusack taking marks, you've got Davidson pulling in grabs like that, and I guess it was always going to be a worry, and Davidson's come forward with I thought it was a brilliant mark at that stage.
He's kicked 3 goals, all in the second half, 2 in this last quarter. Will this be his 4th goal for the game? And that, I would say, without a doubt, is the sealer. The Eagles are home, and there would be tears in the eyes of many of their supporters. Unbelievable atmosphere at Football Park, Marara. We'll see this mark after this punch of Mawson. Huxtable waited a couple of times before he let go with the hand pass, and Mark West put it up high, a very sensible kick. And have a look at this. Up there, Kazali.
Certainly a fingertip job, that one. Had to bend his back all the way back to be able to reach the ball.
37 points, the margin. Punch by Athanasia. Russell Jeffrey straight at the ball again. Dunn. He's tried hard all day. Mawson. Oh, yes. What a game he's had in defence. Goes out wide to his teammate. They have loose players further up the field. Lewis, it's down your throat, son. There's a blue one in the middle. And that would be the least of Wanderers' worries, I would suggest. Over the top. Ponda goes over the mark. Should have been 50. Richard Goit. Oh, all on his own. Can he get it? Taps it over for Durkay. Durkay into the open goal. Champagne football!
And while the rest of them fight, Wanderers kick goals.
Well, that was the most beautiful football you would ever see. Durkay was poetry in motion. .43 points the margin. Oh, sorry. Have a look at this. .43 points is a massive margin. 2 minutes short of time on.
Back in the centre. Ria. Smith. Smith probably got the hand of it. Rio backhanded to Athanasiou. Up towards Stanislas. Stanislas, I think he hasn't been awarded the mark. Couldn't hold on to it long enough. A lot of pressure there from Mawson, who's had a very good game for Wanderers. And the umpires decided to ball it up. 40 metres out from St Mary's goal, and they need plenty of those. I think the bird is well and truly flown. Well knocked away by Taylor. Leading in the race for the ball is Jeffrey. Uncontested. Jeffrey gets the ball over towards the grandstand side, still in the forward pocket. Dunn comes through late, picked up by Lewis. Ooh, Lewis hand pass there to Goit, and Goit got one
Well,
for his trouble
it was in the face,
around
not on the shoulder,
chops.
but anyway.
Gee whiz. Well, Wanderers have kicked 7 goals this quarter. They have really turned it on under pressure at the most important quarter of the football season. Gibson nudged out of it. Chisholm tried hard all day. Goes across towards Perry. Misses it. You wouldn't normally see that. Painter. Up goes Davidson. Couldn't take the mark. Seconds away from time on. I'd love to have got a hold of the 16-1 at the start of the final series. In retrospect, that is. It's easy in hindsight. There's the throw in. Ria just punched out of his hand. That's how easy it was. Stratton can't get away with it. No one can get away with it. Davidson runs onto it. Head high. And Davidson will have a shot for goal. St Mary's have lost it, I think, in terms of the discipline.
Very unlike Damien Hale. It's the pressure of finals football.
The kick from Davidson. Shocking angle. He makes the best of it. It floats across the ground. Mark nearly taken. The ball is still in play. They can't get the hand pass away. Now Ponta comes out with possession. Runs. Nearly caught. Continues with the ball, giving 110%. Lewis will take it back in. He'll have a shot from 50. The Saints player is down.
Perry.
And the free kick will be taken by Stratton because that was out of bounds on the full. The Shaney medal for best on ground in this grand final. We're told it's gone to Russell Jeffrey, the captain today. What a magnificent day it's been for him. A great footballer, great in the AFL. Now the shot for goal. Puts it up high. It drifts offline. It's 3 for a point. The margin is 44.
Wanderers in an unbeatable position at this stage, but they're still persevering, Kevin. Obviously a very fit side and very determined side. Still pushing.
Dunn in front, couldn't get the mark. Chisholm taps, Dunn gets the receive. West is in there, the hand pass to Viola, to Davidson. Viola was hit afterwards, so the free kick. Play on has been called. Lewis, free kick downfield, and this will rub salt into the wounds because the free will be taken. I can't pick up the player. I think it is Ryan Smith who will take the kick for goal and put the margin out to 50 points. This is probably the greatest day in Wanderers history for the last 10 years. There's the kick. Bang, straight through. The margin is 50. Goal number 8 for the quarter. That is extraordinary.
There wouldn't have been probably any person in Darwin that would have picked a score difference of this in this game, Kevin. I mean, there were some people that thought Wanderers could win, but I don't think they thought that they would virtually double St Mary's score, and it looks like that's what's going to happen.
A magnificent performance by the Wanderers football side today. They have really clicked on the day that matters. The kick from Perry. Gabby Wheatra. 25-minute mark in the last quarter. Wheatra's kick is a ball burster. The mark has been taken by Sharkey. He goes out wide where Cooper is absolutely friendless. He uses the space. Dukowicz on his own. Dukowicz goes on with it. Gibson and Ponta. The ball down on the ground. Soft soccer from Chisholm. Fumble from Hale. Wayne McLennan. Pass. Bang. Right on the shoulders of the chest of Surulioli. And there is the siren, I think. And the siren has gone. The umpires have not called play yet. They haven't heard it.
They just announced the siren has not gone.
The siren has not gone. And there are people on the field, players hugging each other. And for all intents and purposes, you may as well blow it. But the ground announcer, Greg Vincent, asking people to come back. I think somebody actually let off one of those battery-operated sirens in the crowd. I heard something go.
It sounded much like it. There were about 300 kids running on the ground, and it's going to take a while to get them off now too.
Well, this game's had everything, I'll tell you that much. The margin at quarter time was 23 points to Saints, 1 point to Wanderers at half time, 9 points at three-quarter time in Wanderers' favour, and now they lead by 50. The police doing their best to get people and players off the ground. I guess from Wanderers' point of view, it means they'll have 2 moments of joy.
That's correct, yeah.
Although I'd suggest that this last quarter has been 25 minutes of joy for them. Gee, they've played well when you consider that they have kept Saints to 3 goals in these last 3 quarters. Brett Dukowicz. There's the kick. Davidson went up. Painter is on the ground. Wheatroyd comes through. Kisak's in the van and marks it. Cooper is all on his own. Can run in. Sees the lead of Davidson, and oh, he's missed it. Hale runs it out. Noel Long. Brave effort by him. He was taken off the ground in the second quarter. Troy Angel, a little fella wrapped up by his own teammate. And Russell Jeffrey, the man of the moment. Have a shot for goal, Russell. No, unselfishly, he passes to that brilliant player in Gary Durkay. Durkay has kicked just the 1 goal. That was in this quarter. It was a blinder. They have a chance here to more than double the score of St Mary's. Durkay lines up. Distance won't be a problem. There's the kick. Slightly offline and through for a point. And we're 27 minutes into the last quarter and Mick stumbles. It has been a blinder.
It's been a good game of football, Kevin. Being a St Mary's supporter, I'm not real pleased about it, obviously, but by gee, it's been a good game of football, and Wanderers have put up a fantastic performance. McLennan with the ball, far side of the ground on the scoreboard side, but as usual, Wanderers are there. Silly play by Aidan Henry.
Sharkey plays on and goes across the ground towards Lewis. Nearly pulled it in. Wheatroyd taps it behind. No one's really interested. Angel goes in and says, I'll take the ball. I'll give it to my captain, Russell Jeffrey. The hand pass is delightful. Huxtable is over here on the wing and marks it. Frustration from Victor Dunn. And there is the siren. It is Wanderers' day.
The crowd streams out onto the ground as the siren has gone to end the 1992-93 of NTFL Grand Final. Wanderers 16-9, 105 in a major upset over St Mary's, 8-6, 54.
Still going, eh?
You want more, Pete?